I'm going to waste no time. I'm going to dive right in. My name is Kate, and I am a licensed esthetician. I have been with Anne Marie Skincare for 8 years. I've been a licensed esthetician for about 13 or so years. And so I love getting to marry these two worlds. Now, I host group consultations, I host one-on-one consultations, and so I get to see people often. And a lot of the times, what we're working on is loose skin, sagging skin, and specifically loose and sagging skin that is on the neck. So I've got three main things I want to touch on. So I'm going to go right into it. Actually, first I'm going to just open the chat. So I've got this here. Cool. Pam's here. Beth's here. The whole gang is here. And as you have questions, do put them in the chat. We might have time to get to them. We might not, but either way, I'd love to if I can. So when we're talking about the neck, right? The skin on the neck is not too dissimilar than the skin on the face. However, the muscular structure of the neck is a lot different. And so it's not uncommon to start to see some drooping, some kind of sagging that's happening right here. Sometimes this can be more pronounced, sometimes it can be very subtle. We can also start to see drooping kind of on the jawline and creasing in the neck here. So there are a lot of ways we can go about this, and it's not going to be super, super novel. It's going to be quite similar to the face, but there are some products and some techniques that can be very, very supportive. So the first one I want to introduce and mention is the Botanical Lactic Toner. This is a super subtle toner. This is a lactic acid, but it is a very gentle lactic acid. And using this on the neck is this beautiful firming. It's got hyaluronic acid, it's got some citrus, and then of course, it's got the lactic acid. And that lactic acid is a mild exfoliant. And so we're getting this kind of stimulation happening as we're applying this to the skin. Also, it's pretty, I guess, regular, common, normal if you have sensitive skin on the face that it doesn't necessarily translate into the neck and the chest. The lactic toner is a toner that we want you to use in the evening. So you would cleanse your skin. It's ideal to be cleansing, down into the neck and chest as well. And then immediately after in the evening, applying the Botanical Lactic Toner. So this is a really nice one for just a quick firming. It's great on the face too, but specifically in the neck, feels quite good. Then serum wise, I recommend something that's got a stem cell component in it. And so that might be the wild fruit, it's probably the wild fruit and the citrus stem cell. These two are the ones that have our stem cell component to them. And you would choose one, and this is the one that you're gonna apply, either on the face and the neck or just the neck, whichever you prefer. What stem cells can do is stem cells can be very supportive for kind of a retraining for skin, especially when we're losing volume, especially when we're losing kind of a lift in the skin. The other products, so serums, great, important. But if you're going to get one product today, this is what I recommend. I recommend the restorative facial cream. So the restorative facial cream is a rich, super soft cream that is packed with anti-agers. I love, love, love this for the neck because with it having this cream formulation, it also absorbs nice and quickly. So you get this beautiful, beautiful kind of even absorption as you're applying it, as you're wearing it. It also does have stem cells. And so again, when we're working on the lift, when we're working on keeping the skin nice and fresh, nice and taut, this does really, really well. And I do want to plug, all of you who are here, maybe this is your first time on a live call, maybe this is, you've been on many, many, many live calls, but we host these regularly, and you're going to see a call coming up in about a month. It's June 16th, where we are focusing just on the cream. So we're going to spend an hour literally talking about the cream. Yeah, my doggy's walking around in the background. One more thing, and then I'm going to come into some questions here. I would be remiss to not mention the gua sha. So when we're working with loose and sagging skin, when we're seeing the skin really start to change, It's going to make a big difference to kind of work with the fascia of the body. So you'll kind of oil your face up, you'll use a gua sha, and you're going to work and glide this. A lot of times we see some pronounced drooping along the jaw and right under the neck here because the muscles on the neck get so kind of tight and taut. So stretches, if you're interested in like yeah, different facial massage or stretching technique. We've got our skin transformation course, which is also something that's very supportive, something that we love, offering and seeing folks join and all of that. And that goes deep into gua sha. It goes deep into kind of movement technique that can be supportive for a more lifted neck and chest area. Um, so, okay, got it. The three things to remember: botanical lactic toner, restorative facial cream, gua sha. Now I'm going to come up and see this question here. Is there anything that can help surgical scars in assisting the surrounding skin from sagging around them? So I want to be very intentional with responding to this. I am not a dermatologist. My licensure is, going to be more surface level. When you have surgery and there's kind of a damage to layers of skin, something that can be very supportive in the recovery period is maintaining movement. And that can look different, depending on how long ago it was. It can look different depending on how, what surgery you're having or have had. Um, but that skin can, it can kind of heal or repair itself in a really firm way. And so, it could look like kind of a manipulation in the skin, something like that. Again, please, please, please refer to your healthcare practitioner if you've had a super recent surgery. I do not want you, working around on your neck and opening up things that don't need to be opened. But part of the recovery process can be supported by maintaining movement, also keeping things nice and moist. And that could look like you're using, a perfect moisturizer, like the restorative facial cream. It could look like an oil. Yeah, that might be something that I would defer you to consult your whoever has worked with you for the surgery. Can the restorative facial cream be used every day or not that often? Oh, yeah, you can use that one morning and evening. I use that one all the time, morning and evening. It's exclusively what I use as my moisturizer on my neck. I used to use the restorative, not restorative, the Radiant Skin Silk on my neck because I liked how fast it absorbed. I liked that it had this beautiful kind of lift to it. But then when we launched the restorative facial cream, there was a no-brainer. Every ingredient in the restorative facial cream is potently anti-aging. Everything is supporting keeping the skin very strong, very smooth, very lifted. And this it applies to the neck as well. So that is one that I very, very much love, love, love for the neck. We've actually, yeah, I love I love it. I love the face cream. Yeah, we've toyed with kind of renaming it to be the face and neck cream because we have had so much feedback with how good it has been for the skin of the neck. So great, great, great question. Yeah, feel free to pop questions in. I know I'm spitting info at you super fast. I've got about 6 minutes. Just a reminder that if you've got the time, we've got a call that's going to start right after this. That is a group consultation. And so we're going to be deep diving into your skin, what your skin needs. I'll have a lot more space to answer more questions, but feel free to put things in as they're popping up here. Something that is kind of undersung when we're talking about the skin of the neck is just simple stretches. So, kind of loosening up, you might massage yourself down here into this muscular structure, but tilting your head back. Let's see if I can do it from the side. Tilting your head back and then opening your mouth and then closing it, right? So it's like, and if you're at home and you want to look so silly, you can try it. You can feel the stretch that happens. in the neck. And the skin on the face, the skin on the body is just like the skin on or the skin on the face and the skin on the neck is just like the skin on your body. All of this is going to look a lot more taut and lifted if we're also working with the fascia and the muscular structure that's going on underneath it. So, and there are more things like that, that, that little technique. Um, my puppy and my kitty are fighting. Um, in the skin transformation course. So the skin transformation course is a pretty potent one. Jill's question. So, what is a good morning and evening process using the products you mentioned? In what order? Using them in the morning before makeup and night before bed too. So, I would recommend, if we're talking about a routine that you're weaving in with morning and evening, pretty much everything that you're putting on your face, I would be mindful to put on your neck, right? So, if you are using the aloe herb cleanser, it's a great one for the neck and chest. If you're using the rose hydrosol, that's a great morning toner. Then using something like the wild fruit serum as your serum on your neck. And then using the restorative facial cream as your moisturizer on your neck. Now, of course, if you are going to go out into the sun, if you're about to go like on a long walk or you're about to go, somewhere else where you're directly in the sun, sun love is super important. Whether it's sun love or the salt and blue, so the body sunscreen, that one you can kind of decide which feels better. It gets to be really, really key in protecting the skin on the neck. And usually, so we're doing those four steps, and then, once everything's kind of absorbed, you can put your makeup on in the morning. The shift I would make in the evening is using that Botanical lactic toner rather than one of the toning mists in the evening. But otherwise, yeah, then you can kind of just copy and paste with what's going on with the face. So perfect. Yeah, concise regimen. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Scrolling up here, seeing any other questions. Some other things to think about with the neck, right? This is kind of outside of skincare. It's not necessarily going to motivate a purchase, but being super mindful with your phone time. I hate to break it to you, but the longer you spend looking down at your phone like this, you are really kind of shortening the muscles that are here, and honestly here too. And this can be really impactful for how all of the aging process takes shape as you're starting to see some loss of volume or lift in the skin. So, I'll let you take it from there. Maybe that looks like less time on your phone. Maybe that looks like more purposeful in front of your face time with your phone. But that's something that in our day and age, people are you don't not everybody thinks about, but it makes a big difference in the aging process. So, and just with a couple of minutes here, we do have a call that starts right after this one that is a group consultation. So if you've got skin questions, if you want help building a routine, let's work on that together. Carrie, so I think you're talking about kind of what happens here. And this can be the tendons that are showing through are not always a direct result of a loss of volume. Sometimes it is kind of like can be softened with a little bit of stretching, but I would recommend, in the minute I've got here, a gua sha routine combined with a stretching routine. So some sort of neck stretching. You can either look into the skin transformation course. You can also search on YouTube. I'm sure there are a bazillion, I don't know one off the top of my head, that are like good, kind of neck yoga, or facial yoga, face and neck yoga that can really help to kind of soften that uh, being a little bit more apparent. Um, so I'll leave it at that. These 15 minutes go super fast. Grace is going to pop the link in here one more time for the group consultation, and then I'm going to close this out and we're going to roll over into that one. So thank you so much again for joining us. We are hosting a call in June that is specific to the restorative face and neck cream. So we'd love to see you on that one. But otherwise, hopefully we'll see you guys super soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye.